So, here we go. I love the Christingle because it marks the start of Advent and the Christmas season, and it's always a joy, isn't it, to gather for this wonderful extravaganza of the Christingle. Before I begin the short talk, we are going to read a very short passage from Scripture, and this is from the book of John, chapter 8. And I've just been gifted, actually, a new Bible today by Leo, and I'm just going to... So if you've got a Bible with you, if you could open up John chapter 8, verse 12. Oh, dear. Thank you, Leo. This is a lovely gift, but I am struggling to read. Has anyone got another Bible I could use? That's lovely. Thank you very much. I'll definitely put that on my bookshelf. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Leo, for my gift. Let's give Leo a round of applause. Thank you for the word. So the passage is from John chapter 8, verse 12, and it is this. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. How amazing is that? Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Now, before we dive into that a little bit more, I've got a question for us all. And the question is this. Put your hand up if you have ever tried walking into the darkness without a light. It could have been on the street or in a forest, wherever, in your house. Have you ever walked in the darkness without a light? Yes? Right, I'd like to just get your hands up for us. How did it make you feel, Robert?
Very worried.
Very worried. Diane?
Frightened.
Frightened. Alice?
The most scariest thing in my life.
Scariest thing of your life? Yes, someone down here. Here we go.
Terrified.
Terrified. There's a bit of a theme going on, isn't there?
Excited.
Oh, right, yes. We've always got... Yes, Kate, just explain that, please, very briefly. No? No, okay. Some people like just to stir the mix. That's fine, that's fine. So... Generally, it kind of made us feel a little bit terrified, anxious, scared, all those kinds of things. And the importance of light in those situations is significant. Now, we are going to play together a game of higher or lower. Except it's called brighter or dimmer. Dear me. Right, here we go. So... Here is Santa's sack, and inside is full with loads of different light devices, okay? So I need a couple of volunteers just to come to the front and help me out, if that's all right. So if you're able to come to the front and help me out, maybe just gather on this side, that'd be fine. Thank you very much. Here we go. So for the first one... Just to say, you might not get a go, right? But we're doing it all together. Blimey. Here we go. So, would you like to just pick the first one out there for me? Thank you. Oh, here we go. Right. Oh, look at that. What have we got here?
A light.
A light. Shall we see if it works? Alicia, are you around, or have you gone? Can we just see if this works, please? Let's get that plugged in. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Give him a minute. We ain't got a minute. There we... Okay, are you ready? Ready? Whoa! Right. Who likes that? Yes. How lovely. Now, do we think the next light is going to be brighter or dimmer? Brighter? Go. If you think it's brighter, go whoop now. If you think it's going to be dimmer, whoop now. You think it's going to be dimmer? Right, let's see what we've got in here. Would you like to pick the next one out for me, please? Thank you very much. Here we go. What have we got? Oh, look at that, Mr. Owl. It's Owly. Has anyone got an Owly at home? It is a night light, okay? So, you thought this was going to be dimmer. Are you correct? Can we have a... Ooh. Oh, yes, it is dimmer. Well done. Look at that. Marvellous. Right. next one. Do we think it's going to be brighter or dimmer? Brighter? Dimmer? Oh, you think, right, it's going to be brighter. Who would like to pick the next one? Yeah, would you like to pick the next one? Here goes, what's that? Oh, look at that. Was the consensus brighter?
Yes, dimmer.
I'm afraid that's as good as you get. So you've lost, all right? But sorry about that. Ow, that really hurts. There we are. Right, is the next one going to be brighter or dimmer? Brighter? Dimmer? Brighter, I think. So who would like to pick this one? Yes, would you like to... This crowd is getting bigger by the minute. Oh, what's that say?
Go find Luke Porter.
Oh, where is Luke Porter? Can everyone point to Luke if we can see him? Can you go get Luke for me, please? Because I think he's got something for us. Here we go. What is it? What's this? Oh my. Have you ever seen anything like that before? It's like something out of Transformers. Luke, can you just explain what we've got here, please?
This is a studio light.
And do you think it's going to be... Can I have some assistance here, please? I'm actually entangled. Do you think it's going to be brighter or dimmer than the thing on my head?
I would say brighter.
Ready? Are we on? Are we on? Yes! You are absolutely correct. It is brighter. Right. Of course it is. I think we should do one more, shall we? One more. Do we think the next one's going to be brighter or dimmer? Brighter? Dimmer? Dimmer, right. Last one. Someone round here. Da, 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 da. Do you want to choose this one? Let's have a look. We think it's going to be dimmer. What's this? Hey up. Ooh! Are you ready? Is it going to be brighter or dimmer? You thought dimmer. Ooh! Is that brighter or dimmer? What is it? Brighter! Wow! So we got that one wrong as well. Let's give you all yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. Wow. Now, what I didn't appreciate was the mess I was going to be left with here, but we'll sort that out in a moment. So there we go. The key thing in life is this. We do not have to find the light, because Jesus is the light. And he came to find you and me. That's what he came to do. And that is what Christmas is all about. God coming to us as a baby Jesus, look at that. And do you know one of Jesus' Christmas names is Emmanuel? And Emmanuel means God with us. God came as a baby to be with us. And he has come to be light of the world. Now, a few years ago, I was in a room with some of my friends, and it was very, very dark. It was a little bit terrifying and scary, like some of you have just explained. And there was a power cut. So it went pitch black. And in that moment, we realized that one of our friends was missing in the room. And we began to panic a little bit. And people were asking, well, where's this person? Calling out their name. And people were saying, oh, we don't know. And then from a corner of the room, in the quietness, this person who we were looking for said, I'm here. They were in the room all the time. And do you know what? Jesus' birth is God saying to us, his people, he's saying, I'm here. I am here. And he says, you no longer have to walk in the darkness of life, but you can walk in the light. And that brings us to what Jesus said in this passage when he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. What does that mean? What on earth does that mean? Well, imagine your life without any light whatsoever. You're stumbling around, you're not knowing where you're going. And Jesus says it's a bit like a lighthouse or a torch, guiding us, helping us to see clearly. He shows us the way to live our lives. He shows us the way to love other people. And most importantly, he shows us the way to God. And because he is the light, we don't have to find our own way anymore in life. We don't need anything else other than the person of Jesus, because he came to find us and to be the light in our darkness. Now, why is this important, you may ask? Why is it important? Well, because we only have to look out the doors right now to see that we live in a dark world. And we would never find our own way in life unless Jesus is the light. Now, how is our world dark today? Well, we only have to look at the news, don't we, to know that it's full of evilness and wickedness, that there's suffering going on all around us today. In fact, the Chris Dingle, which I had the delight of making all weekend, this is made using newspaper that has stories of all the news from across the world. And that is symbolic for the reasons today, that God came to our earth so desperately in need of him as good news. He is the light. And we live in this dark world, and Jesus was born into it to be the light 2,000 years ago. How amazing is that? And he was born into a dark world then that was full of violence, injustice. There were refugees fleeing oppression. There were families being torn apart. There was endless grief. And the world Jesus was born in 2,000 years ago, guess what? The same things happen in our world today. We remain stuck in this darkness by the sin we let into our lives, by the addictions we have, the temptations we have, the idols we make for ourselves, the behaviors, the lifestyles we adopt. And humans, you and I, we've spent thousands of years trying to overcome the darkness by ourselves. Maybe with intellectualism, or with innovations, with technology, or with finance, we've tried to be that ourselves. But the truth is, the human race has forgotten that they are not God. We are not God. It cannot be done. Humanity cannot save itself. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. And Christmas is all about you and me recognizing that at the darkest time of the year, that yes, things are bad in the world, as we've been hearing, but we really cannot heal ourselves. But guess what? There is hope. There is real hope. And his name is Jesus. Jesus is the light of the world, and he's come to us to save us. And here's the best bit. Jesus didn't just come to show us the way in life. He made it possible for us to get there. You see, while he died on the cross, he took away all of the darkness, our mistakes, our wrongdoings, all the bad stuff that separates us from relationship with God. And then when Jesus rose again in the resurrection, he showed that in his light was more powerful than any darkness. He pierced unimaginable darkness. That's who Jesus is. And so take your Christingle now and place the foil around the hole at the top and place your candle in, because in a few moments' time we're going to light that. And just hold it in front of you. And the orange reminds us, doesn't it, of the world that God has made. And the candle in the middle is Jesus, the light of the world. And here's the really great thing, that when we trust Jesus with our whole lives, his light doesn't just stay out there. His light is placed in us. We carry the light of Jesus with us, and we fully become alive when he is in us. And that's when we shine brightly as lights in the world, so that other people, our friends, our family, all those in the world would come to know his love, that Jesus came for everybody. In a moment, we're going to see something very spectacular as we light these Christingles. It's going to look beautiful. And you know, every year in Jerusalem, there's something called the miracle of holy fire. And every year at Easter, at the church, which sits allegedly on the site where Jesus' tomb is believed to be situated, a Christian leader enters this tomb, and it's now a chapel, with an unlit candle, just like yours. And there's hundreds and thousands of people outside of this tomb. And when the leader emerges from the tomb, he emerges with a lit candle. Some people believe that is miraculously lit in the chapel. And as the flame comes out from the chapel, it spreads right across the people, across the church. And you know, these lights then go off around the world, even on planes in specially adapted lanterns. And the light of Christ spreads around the globe. How about you and me today? We set the world on fire with love for Jesus. Is anyone up for that? Yes, we are up for that. So just hold your Christingle in front of you for one more moment. And imagine for a moment what it would be like if every single one of us shone Jesus this Christmas. Think about how much brighter the world would be. There's a church father called Augustine, and he said this: "Our hearts are restless until they find their rest in thee." Will you find your rest in God today? Because Jesus really is the light of the world. Let's just bow our heads to pray. Jesus, we thank you for being light of the world. Thank you that you came to guide us, to love us, to save us. Help us to shine your light brightly in the world everywhere we go, so others can know how amazing you are. Amen.